Now I'll talk about some of the foundational concepts which are not often talked about in our conventional medical curriculum. First of all is a first contact care. As I said earlier, if you go directly with a problem to a tertiary care hospital, for example, headache, you will be naturally going to a neurologist, and it is a normal practice for any super specialist. So because they do not want to leave anything to doubts. So as per protocol, you'll get your MRI done, you'll get your, there may be a smaller problem, but of course, because the protocol of the tertiary care specialization will be followed. So if you go directly to the tertiary care institution, the cost and the interventions and approach would be different. But when it is community based, when it is smaller problem, it is important to triage the symptoms which are often undifferentiated, and this is the importance of first contact. And where the systems are very evolved, like in United States of America or in United Kingdom, you cannot bypass your general practitioner, your family physician, and directly visit a hospital or a specialist. And this saves a lot of problems for the patients themselves, for the doctors them, as well as the healthcare institutions. They help the tertiary care institutions also. One question is often asked, if other specialists are, specialists of a particular organ or a system, what kind of specialists are family physicians? Now, family physicians are whole person specialists, whole person. This may sound very strange, but a person, when they come to a doctor as a, for any consultation or any concern, they come with your, they come with your family background, they come with their financial background, they come with their cultural inclinations, they come with with their religious choices and food choices, and all these things are important in healthcare outcomes and also intervention and their compliances. So whole person care, is the only and specific domain of family medicine. Then person centered care, and this is also very important because every person is a unique in his or her own existence. So uh, a person's need response to any treatment may vary person to person, and the requirement is different. Hypertension in 40s, 60s, elderly women, pregnant women, they all differ. Of course, they may be managed by a physician or a cardiologist, but these are more specifically a conceptual foundation of family medicine because every person requires a personalized care plan, and this is what family physicians specialize in. Now, from the perspective of treatment, this is the era of evidence-based practice, and the
Uh,
treatment of hyper does not change with the provider. With
Dr.
the
Raman, can I
Yes,
interrupt you for a small moment? There's a
sure,
question from Dr. Ajay. So his question is very specific. He's asking you what you mean by holistic. When you say
right,
family medicine is a holistic care, so what do you mean by holistic? Is it?
right. So as I said earlier, uh, from our early medical education system, we see there is fragmentation of care. Fragmentation of care is that if you have, say, eye problem, you go to eye specialist, and then, but if you have, raised sugar, or for example, you are also a diabetic, then you are sent to a diabetologist or an endocrinologist or a physician. Now you again have a neuropathy for which you are sent to a neurologist. Now, one person may have multiple problems, and there's no one doctor who is, providing care for the overall. Many of these problems are smaller. For example, headache can be simply, I have worked with one of my guides for DNB was a neurologist, and I would see that 90% of the headaches are cured by simple paracetamol, and this was his prescription. I've also worked as a liver hospital, and I've seen when 70-80% of the dyspepsia are treated by pantoprazole. It is a common prescription, but for this you do not have to go for long travel long distance, go to a large tertiary care hospital, and multiple problems, multiple morbidities, multiple organ systems, and in a person. can be taken care, and this is holistic care, whole person care, which is the domain of family physician, because everybody is looking vertically deeper into the their own domains. There are posterior chamber specialists, there are retina specialists, but it can be simple red eye. So simple red eye, for buying a soap, you do not go to a factory, you purchase it from your local general store. And in a general store, the concept is that a lot of things of common users, daily users, are available. So whole person is about caring the whole person, is a holistic care, it is not fragmented care. So irrespective of what the person comes with, you know any organ or gender system, family physician is not challenged. He or she is capable of providing the basic care, which is, as I said, research based, is 90% of the care can be given. Then family centered care is important because every person, largely we are family based. In India, we do not depend on governments for existence, we depend on our families. And every family is unique in its financial context, in its cultural context, its religious context, its food habits, lifestyle, its habitat, where they are located, where they are working, and all this impact the overall health of a person. And these are the contextual things that family physician takes into consideration when prescribing medicine or treatment, making a treatment plan. And this is of course also linked to the community oriented care. Now another important aspect and concept is life cycle care. Now we have pediatricians for pediatrics age group, we have internal medicine people for adults, and we have different organ specialists. But life cycle care is meaning, from starting of the birth, from pediatric to geriatric age group, to end of life care, palliative care. This whole, phase of any human life or any family member may have any condition. These are the areas where, family medicine, family physicians have capacity to intervene and provide solutions. So if a person, many times this happens to us, wife comes to us for some problem, some allergy and all, and when they have completed their consultation, their husband or mother-in-law says that I also have a problem, I also want to consult. So now I have diabetes, for example. So as a family physician, I know the current guidelines on diabetic management, I practice them in my prescription. So I'm capable of providing solutions to those problems. Now if they ask a question about breastfeeding, or for example immunization, I'm capable of providing those answers and those solutions to the families or the people who come to me. So this is all about life cycle care. So in summary, I would say whole person care, life cycle care, and person centered care, these are the foundational concept of family medicine. There are a few more. I'll talk in ecology of care. I talked in the beginning itself, where you saw that large mobility of the illnesses and ailments is seen in the community itself, and a fraction of them only come to the hospitals. So from that perspective, this is also a foundational concept. Continuity of care is important because what happens at hospitals is episodic care. You have an acute abdomen, or an accident, or a stroke, or acute kidney failure. There is no option but to go to a hospital. But often this interaction is transactional, and once this problem is solved, once you are done with your stroke or MI, uh, you need not be directly keeping in touch with your provider again and again. The continuity of care is that you keep on seeing the same patients, uh, family members, through their life cycles. When they are young, when they become older, when they come in the later geriatric age, they continue to come to you, and their history, their problems, their multimorbidity, problem of their family members, context of their financial issues, social issues, cultural issues. And this continuity of care is very, very important from the family medicine practice perspective. And comprehensive care, of course, it is a concept similar to the whole person care. Comprehensive care is about, addressing uh, the health problems irrespective of their origin, and it is about the capacity of providing solutions. Now many times, even as doctors, we find challenging to treat our own family members because we are not confident on for a small skin problem, for a small red eye problem, or allergy problem, or hypertension of your own father and mother, because we belong to different specialty. Although we say that we are all MBBS doctors, but once you join a specialization, your skills and competency decline over a period of year. There may be brilliant persons and exceptions, but we have seen practically that doctors many times are doctors many times uh, are are not very confident to treat their own family members. I'll just take 1 second. Sorry, it was something with my. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. So then there is a concept of epidemiology of illness. What is epidemiology of illness? As I talked, when the symptoms arise, they are undifferentiated. They are undifferentiated because when the problems start, many times there are vague problems. Vague problems, they are undefined, and many times you would not find those symptoms classically described in your textbooks. And over a period of time, as the epidemiology of the disease evolves, and as the time passes, the diagnosis, the symptoms become more clearer. And by the time they go to tertiary care hospital, over a period of time, their diagnosis is often mentioned on their prescriptions and the diagnostic reports. But when this comes to the practice of a family physician, it is indeed a challenging situation, because a backache can be much possibility it may be a musculoskeletal problem only, but it can be related to prostate, it can be related to posture, it can be related to some spinal problem, neurological problem. So epidemiology of illness differs in community setting than what we see it in the hospital setting, the tertiary care setting. And one important thing which much relies and valued about family medicine is the complexity of care, managing complexities. What is complexity? Uh, See, when you mix several parameters, normally when we manage diseases, we try to, deduct things, we do differential diagnosis, and we try to reduce the possibility and gradually come down to diagnostic workup, to possible uh, diagnoses, and then give a management plan. But many times these things are very very complex, and these are like riddles. And if you do not have a multi-dimensional approach in your mind, it is difficult to get the right diagnosis, even with the best diagnostic equipments available. So complexity, mostly, this can be seen in elderly people, uh, uh, psychiatry problem, maybe because of, some other, infection. Delirium can be caused by many things, simple infections which may not be presenting even as fever. So we have to be aware of those, possibilities and complexities, and these are more, easily or better way addressed in family practice, because our minds are open and we are looking from different systems, different organ systems, and we are not, we do not have a tubular vision of any particular symptom or problem. So complexity is a thing which is a very challenging situation in medical practice, and it is best addressed in family practice context. And care of morbidity, multi-morbidity, of course, because one person many may have many problems. For example, uh, uh, an elderly person may have a dental issue, eye issue, orthopedic issue, neurological issue, constipation, uh, uh, difficulty in walking, gait issues, Parkinson's, tens of issues. If they start visiting any, particular departments in hospitals, it becomes not only expensive but also very logistically difficult. So in such situation, many of these problems can be addressed with minor or small clinical interventions, and this is the domain of family physicians. Long-term care, of course, many diseases are long-term diseases. We consider in India diabetes and hypertension a domain of specialists. But diabetes is a multi-system disease. It has long-term outcome and multi-organ involvement. So in such conditions, for example, in United Kingdom, in NHS, majority of the diabetic patients are seen by the GPs in their practices, and over a period of time in long-term care, because their target is to reduce the the complexity or the negative outcomes or the end organ damages, and this can be done when it is done in community itself. When they require a specialist intervention, of course they are referred to, but largely the long-term care is provided by the GPs in UK, and this should be happening more in our context also, because as we know, for example, diabetes, India is the world capital of diabetics. So even if we have best hospitals available, best of the specialists available, not all morbidity can be addressed through hospitals and specialists only. And clinical prevention, we know about the, we have learned about the public health prevention parts, the national health programs and all, but how do we do practice clinical prevention? So nowadays there are a lot of hospitals which have department of screening, department of wellness, department of fitness, and these all things are practice domains of family physicians, because typically clinical prevention is what you intervene on an individual. For example, the screening tests you do, which are age specific, gender specific. For example, the chemoprophylaxis, we prescribe ecosprin in a certain age group or risk group, and the vaccinations, for example, vaccine for cervical cancer, or preventive vaccines in elderly for pneumonia and influenza, and lifestyle modification, because a lot of this is lifestyle diseases, and this is all lifestyle modification, reduction of weight, diet management, exercise prescription. These are all often neglected part of medical practice, and these all come under the domain of clinical prevention. So these are all the distinctions of family medicine which are not normally covered in other disciplines and specialties. And of course, lastly, care is entirely a domain of family physicians.